It is Thursday, August 27th, 2026. Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. I am Chief Meteorologist Sam Argier. This is our digital weather show streaming exclusively on fox5vegas.com and our digital channel, Fox 5 Vegas Plus. Great to have you along with us on this Thursday. We're almost to the weekend, and we've got a lot of heat still to talk about. In fact, another record high temperature today. We hit 111 at Reed Airport, also a record warm morning low temperature at 92 degrees. I've got some heat relief to talk about. We've also got some slight shower and storm chances. We've also got Tropical Storm Dolly out in the Atlantic. I'll show you where Dolly is heading, and it's just a coincidence that it's named Dolly after Dolly Parton's recent passing. And we'll also take a look at some cloud cover over Las Vegas tonight, and that's kind of spoiling viewing for the lunar eclipse. And that is where I want to start tonight. Well, you got the cloud cover over us today. It was pretty persistent out there. Not much in the way of rainfall today, but we do have the partial lunar eclipse occurring. Now, it's already underway as I record this on Thursday evening, but the eclipse peaks at 9:12, and then the eclipse will be over at 10:51 this evening. So the clouds really spoiling the party. You might get a few glimpses of the eclipse through some high clouds. Now, that's the kind of silver lining with the cloud cover. This is not low, thick cloud cover. These are some high, thinner clouds. So you could possibly see the moon a bit through the clouds this evening, but not ideal viewing conditions out there if you want to get out the telescope and get some really good pictures of the partial lunar eclipse. This is when the moon is moving into the shadow of the Earth, and it's a partial lunar eclipse because 96% of it will be in the Earth's shadow, the moon we're talking about. So not a total lunar eclipse, but a partial lunar eclipse, but a pretty good eclipse nonetheless. So that's occurring outside tonight. As far as showers go, we have some rain up into northern Nevada, central California, off to the east. We still got this big ridge of high pressure. This has been bringing the heat for us, and this will keep a little moisture in the picture again as we head into Friday. So slight shower and storm chances on the way for Friday. Here's future track showing that cloud cover zipping through as we go into Friday afternoon with the heating of the day. Not widespread rain here, but some scattered pop-up hit and miss showers around southern Nevada and a few isolated thunderstorms. And then for the weekend, some more sunshine. And yes, the temperatures will start to give us a little break this weekend. We'll start to see those numbers tail off a little bit for us, trail off. So low temperatures for Friday morning. Weekend is upon us. Still 80s in the valley, but we head to Tonopah at 60, 68 degrees in Caliente. Overnight low temperatures into Friday for the Las Vegas Valley, upper 80s, so still pretty warm out there at 83 in Pahrump. And then high temperatures 107 in Las Vegas, so not quite as hot as the 111 we felt today, but still above average. Typical high is 101 this time of year. 114 in Laughlin, 103 degrees in Pahrump. Outside the valley at 82 in Tonopah for your Friday, and then we'll go into low 90s for Caliente and Pioche. Now, I want to show you this graphic because this really sums up how hot this past month has been. We are on track to see the hottest August on record in Las Vegas. The records go back to 1937. So if this August has felt hot to you, you're not imagining it. Let's walk you through this graphic. I know there's a lot going on, but the color of red, that red line you see, that's the normal high temperature. And the blue line, that's the normal low temperature. So if things were average, we kind of fall right between those two lines. Look at how much we're above the red line and above the blue line for the past 30 days. Yes, we did have that dip mid-August. That was the week we did see a little more thunderstorm activity, which did help bring our temperatures down. But for most of August, just some hot, hot weather. Temperatures have been hovering around 110 the last several days. And as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast here, we hit 111 on this Thursday. Today, August 27th, that was a new daily record high, and 92 degrees, a warm record morning low temperature. So heat has not given us much of a break. Now, we still have the extreme heat warning up through Friday, so we have another first alert weather day on the calendar. You saw the rain coverage here. It's going to be some slight pop-up shower and storm chances, nothing widespread. And then for the weekend, drier air takes over. Still a little windy at times Saturday and Sunday. I'm not anticipating wind advisories this weekend, so that's why I didn't put the first alert on there. But you'll notice the breeze picking up in the afternoon, wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Heading into next week, we're going to see temperatures fall back as we usher in September. September, and we'll bring back some slight shower chances Tuesday and Wednesday. That's September 1st and 2nd. So we'll watch for that. Also, some of the longer range data I'm looking at hinting at some potential shower chances into Saturday and Sunday for Labor Day weekend. That would be September 5th and 6th. So still a ways out on that, but monsoon season does go through the end of September. So September can still bring us some thunderstorms. Right now we are pacing below average for rainfall this monsoon season. We've picked up about 0.3 of an inch of rain at Reed Airport. Typically during the monsoon, which runs from mid-June through the end of September, we see a little more than an inch of rain on average. So it's been a little drier. So we'll see if September can turn around a bit, hinting at that potential there for that first week of September. Friday, slight shower and storm chance. Extreme heat warning still up, 107 the high. Weekend, we take the edge off the heat. Skies mostly sunny this weekend. As far as wind speeds, again, not expecting advisories here. Generally, wind advisories come down when gusts are up around 40+ miles per hour. I'm not seeing that this weekend. We'll see gusts 30 to 40. And then next week, there's the relief. We'll be back into those 90s. And I think those mornings, you'll notice the difference. If you're an early riser, of course, students back at school nowadays, I know I'm out the door early with my kids, getting them out to school. 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that will feel a little more manageable. And also temperatures coming down a little bit. I mean, we've got the pumpkin spice lattes in the coffee shops already. So Mother Nature finally bringing the numbers down a little bit. So if you're kind of over the August heat, which I know a lot of you are, I'm ready for some cooler air myself. We'll get a little piece of those 90s coming our way for next week. So want to send it over to my colleague, meteorologist Les Criffenden. He did a story. He went out to Lake Mead this past week, and he checked out where the water levels stand. He went out to Colville Bay. Here's the latest from Les on kind of where we stand so far, right now, I should say, with Lake Mead water levels.
Back 36 years ago, used to be able to launch way up over there by the building where the marina was.
Boy, if things changed. The lower water levels are raising red flags in the southwest, and it's not looking very good. The federal government is imposing an operating plan for the next 2 years for the states that rely on the Colorado River. The lower basin states, including Nevada, will have to deal with lower share of the water. For us here in Nevada, we will lose 50,000 acre-feet in each of the next 2 years. In all, the lower states will lose 1.25 million acre-feet between Nevada, California, and Arizona. To put that into perspective, an acre-foot is enough water for 2 households for an entire year. So we're talking about the equivalent of 2.5 million homes. Over at Colville Bay, to ease the long walk from the parking lot to the boat launch, the marina shuttles people to the ramps. Olivia Connor is one of the shuttle drivers.
I've seen the water steadily decline. It was started up to here about in the beginning of the year, and it's gone down to where it is now.
So this would have been underwater?
Absolutely.
This picture shows what Chad Taylor, general manager of Colville Bay Marina, is talking about.
If you turn around and you look back at the marina, you can see where we started at the red building, a big red roof all the way at the top up there.
That's a lot of water that's gone from Lake Mead. Taylor says it's not the first time we've seen critical water levels.
We had some significantly lower levels in the 50s and in the 60s as well. You have a chart right there that shows it.
This chart from the Bureau of Reclamation shows water levels dropped by 17 feet in 1955, with another 7-foot drop the following year. The water level returned to over 1,200 feet by 1962. In 1965, the chart shows water levels dropping again, this time by 75 feet. And over the following 18 years, water started filling back in, peaking at 1,225 feet in 1983. So while our water levels continue to drop, the lake has a history of rebounding. Taylor is optimistic that that will happen again.
The Colorado River has produced upwards of 10 million to 13 million acre-feet a year for the last 100 years plus, and the data shows it. The compact and the management of the water, I think, is probably the hardest part of all this.
Let's hope history will repeat itself. Les Criffenden, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
And some great perspective there from Les. He did show you one graph there that kind of looked long range at the past several decades. Wanted to take just a little bit shorter range outlook of what we look like in terms of the water levels over the past year. So this is looking at the past year, and you can see as we've kind of moved into the summer months, we've seen quite a bit of a drop off. Now, from a year ago, we're down 16 feet from 1 year ago. It was not a great year for snowpack at the Rocky Mountains, and that's a good reminder, and Les mentioned this in the story, is that we really rely on the snowpack in the Rockies. That makes the biggest difference when it comes to Lake Mead water levels. This past season, not a great season for snowpack. I want to show you the last 5 years on this graph, and yeah, we were down to these levels back in 2022. So again, running Lake Mead, we could see the bathtub ring. Les just showed you that video. So of course, we'll always keep an eye on the Lake Mead water levels. We're looking at them down 16 feet from a year ago. So we're hoping for a good winter here coming on up for snow up in the Rocky Mountains. That, of course, would help the river system, the Colorado River system, and help the levels at Lake Mead. Want to take a little longer range outlook and look at actually a little wider range outlook and look at the tropics. Now, I want to head out to the Atlantic because we've got a tropical storm and the name is Dolly. As I mentioned, this is not named after Dolly Parton. It just so happened that it's the 4th named storm of the year. And even after Dolly's passing just a couple days ago, it's a coincidence. So that is why it is Dolly. Dolly does not look to become a major storm. A couple things working against this storm from becoming a strong hurricane. We've got a lot of wind shear, and that's pretty typical in the Atlantic when we have El Nino conditions in the Pacific. And we do have strong El Nino gearing up. We could see a little more wind shear, and generally tropical systems do not like wind shear. It really weakens them. So Dolly forecast track this weekend puts a little bit closer to Puerto Rico, where it does look to weaken into just a tropical low, essentially, as we head into the weekend. So we'll keep an eye on Dolly. Could still bring some heavy rain around areas of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands this weekend, but not looking to be a major storm across the area. This looks at severe thunderstorms, and we have some severe weather tonight around east of Denver into the plains, also up into Montana. We have some severe thunderstorms this evening. For Friday, you can see us here in southern Nevada in the green. That means some non-severe thunderstorms are possible for us. So we'll keep an eye on that. But overall, just looking at a few pop-up scattered showers and thunderstorms, not widespread rain, as you saw in Future Track just a minute ago. And then that will be the story on Saturday. Storm chances mainly move off to the east of us. So we're looking at some drier air for the weekend and a little less heat. So we've certainly been feeling the heat out there, no doubt about that. So that's the way we're looking long range here. Finally getting some heat relief for next week with those temperatures back into the 90s. We've got the partial lunar eclipse out there tonight. Viewing not great. My son did catch a shot outside my house, but it was kind of obscured with the high clouds. But you can kind of make out the bright full moon out there. Again, 96% in the Earth's shadow. So not a total eclipse, but a partial eclipse going on out there tonight. So that's the latest with First Alert Weather Extra. Again, this is our digital weather show, streaming exclusively on fox5vegas.com and our digital channel, Fox 5 Vegas Plus. We'll see you back here next time.